Hello everyone. On an average, 15 to 18% of the questions come from Indian polity. Because of the significance of weightage given in the preliminary exam, polity as a subject becomes even more important in the preparation process. So, through these sessions, we are going to very briefly revise all the important concepts of Indian polity. So, let's begin with the historical background. So, we all know, while reading modern history, we all know how Britishers came to India. In the year 1608, Britishers came to India as traders under a charter act granted by Queen Elizabeth in the year 1600. So they basically came to India as traders in the year 1608. But by the year 1765, the company was so powerful that it obtained Diwani rights, revenue and civil justice rights of three important provinces of India, which were Bengal, Bihar, and Orissa. So we divide the British rule in India into two categories. One was from the year 1773 to 1858, and we call it as the Company Rule. And after the First War of Indian Independence, we call the year from 1858 to 1947 as the Crown Rule. So let's start with the Regulating Act of 1773. So what was this act about? So this was the first act. This was the first step taken by the British government to control and regulate the affairs of East India Company in India. So basically these servants, they came to India as officers, but simultaneously they started personal trade also. So when British government got to know about this, they just want to regulate the affairs of East India Company in India. So this was the first step. So the Regulating Act of 1773 was the first major step which was taken by not by the English East India Company but by the British government in UK to control the English East India Company's affairs or its functions in India. Then it recognized for the first time the political and administrative functions of the company. So in the year 1773, this East India Company was not just limited to trade. So through this act, for the first time, the political and administrative functions of the company was recognized by the British government. Then foundation of central administration in India was laid down through this act. Next, let's know about the features of this Regulating Act of 1773. So more powers was given to the Governor of Bengal. So the Governor of Bengal becomes the Governor General of Bengal. So there was one person who was appointed as the Governor of Bengal, and he was he was promoted, and he becomes Governor General of Bengal, and an executive council. A council was created which had four members. And why these members were appointed? They were appointed to assist the Governor General of Bengal. So the major feature was Governor of Bengal becomes the Governor General of Bengal. An executive council was created, and in that executive council, four members were appointed. And why they were appointed, and what was their duty? Their duty was to assist, to help the Governor General of Bengal. So you all know who was the first Governor General of Bengal. He was Warren Hastings. And in the year 1744, Supreme Court of Calcutta was established. So through this act, what they did was they gave more power to Governor of Bengal, and they changed his title also. Governor of Bengal becomes Governor General of Bengal. Then Executive Council was created. In the year 1744, Supreme Court of Calcutta was established, and under Supreme Court also, one Chief Justice was appointed, and under him, three other judges were also appointed. For what purpose? To assist the Chief Justice of Supreme Court. This act also prohibited private trade. This was the actual reason why this regulating act was implemented. This servants or companies, East India Company's employees had engaged themselves in private trade. They were earning lots and lots of money through private trade. Through this act, the British government prohibited the private trade of this company's servants. Then this act also established a new board, a court of directors. And why this court of directors was established? It was established to give a report on its revenue, on company's revenue, civil and military affairs in India. So this is all about the Regulating Act of 1773.